Hey everyone, welcome back to the SEO. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Third Rail Golden Gate Depot catalog. And you'll notice here it's their 50th anniversary, and we have our buddy here, Johnny, who this is his model, and the last picture in the catalog will also be his. But this is a catalog I was kind of looking forward to all week, and I'm sure a lot of us were, considering what came out earlier in the week. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Golden Gate Depot and Sunset. So I'm not going to read all of this. You guys can pause it and read this, but it's just a little blurb about the history of Sunset models and Third Rail and GGD, and it's kind of nice to read, and it's also kind of encouraging for the future of Golden Gate Depot. So moving on to the 50th anniversary announcements here, we have the SD70 Aces, Third Rail SP P8 1014s, and 3 Rail EMD FL9s. So far, I'm really only interested in the SD70 Aces, but we'll move on with the next offerings. We have the M-Class 480s, electric U-boats B23, B30, and B36s, and the Sunset models Third Rail Timken 4 Aces Northern Pacific A1 Class 484s. Now right now I'm lightly considering a M-Class just because of the history of Strasbourg and things like that, and if and when we make it up Strasbourg as part of York, we'll be able to see this engine, so we'll see what happens. But moving on to the SD70 Aces. So these should be really nice with them being plastic and brass. It says captures power and presence of EMD's flagship locomotive, featuring the iconic angular cab dynamic stance paint schemes, featuring Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern Heritage fleets. ABS body, fixed pilots, brass details, ball bearing, axle joints, 5-pole motor, TMCC, loc sound for 2 railers, and available with and without PTC inverter pins. So if I get any of these, I'm kind of thinking getting the Central New Jersey unit, because that actually passed through my hometown about a month or so ago, and I didn't get the Lionel one. So this would be a good opportunity for me to get a really nice SD70, and it would be accurate. And I'm also thinking about, if I get that one, getting a normal NS one to go with it, just to have one to lash up with it, and then eventually those will get upgraded to either Proto 3 or Legacy, or either way. But at minimum, I might get at least one. Moving on to the P8, 10, and 14s. So I know Optimus or Johnny, if you're watching this, you might be getting your hands on one of these, but I'm not going to be getting any of these just because I'm just not an SP guy, and these are very specific to the SP. But detailed brass construction, multiple paint schemes and road numbers, fully detailed backhead lit cab markers, operating stand and turret hatches, cab vents, doors and windows. I'd be interested to know what exactly that means. I mean, I'm sure it just means they open and close and things like that, but it'd be kind of cool to see what that actually entails. And all of the brass steam engines have that kind of detail on it. Moving on to the 4 Aces and the MP Northerns. Again, not something I'm particularly interested in. I do like the 111 or 1111 just because of the history behind that particular locomotive, it being the first engine with all Timken drivers or axles, I believe. Yeah, all roller bearing equipped engine in America. I just think that's kind of interesting. If I were to get one, it would probably be the Timken one up here, just because, like I said, of the history, but I might not be getting one of these. Moving on to the FL9. So these were a diesel electric hybrid, I believe. New Haven, Amtrak, Metro North, Penn Central, and Maine Eastern. Again, not something I'm particularly interested in, but it's nice for those who want that kind of thing. Moving on to the 480s. So again, I mentioned in the beginning that I'm considering getting one just because of the potential of seeing it in Strasbourg later this year and the history of the locomotive and things like that. But it's not high on the priority list. But I'm sure this will come out as a fantastic model. All right, moving on to the B23, 30s, and 36-7s. So these will come in a bunch of different schemes. I've been looking at the Third & Townsend website basically almost all day, kind of comparing and contrasting just about everything, not just these. But ABS body, fixed pilot, ball bearing, axles, accurate to FB2 or AAR trucks, depending on the model. So you can kind of see here the top two have, I believe, the AAR style, and then these have the FB2 just by glancing at them, from what I can gather or guess anyway. 5-pole motor, cruise control, the TMCC, rail sound, smoke, all the stuff that we're come to expect from third rail. Current open reservations, so these are the things that they already have opened. All the stuff before this were new announcements. We had the GP30s, Erie Builts, F7s, their third run of those, and their fourth run of E8s. Now, I don't have any of these first three on reservation, but I do have two of the Central Georgia E8s on reservation because, of course, y'all know I can't really stay away from Central Georgia, and the Central Georgia only really had two E8s anyway. So I figured if I'm getting one, I might as well get their whole fleet of E8s, as it were. And they're coming in the Illinois Central orange and brown, so it will be a nice contrast in my Central Georgia fleet. And these are just individual pictures for the GP30s and the Erie Builts and so on and so forth. And it's the same things as all the other diesels. Ball bearing sports PB drive. F7s, more pictures of those. Liveries, way too many, and yeah, they have quite a few of them offered. E8s and 9s. So the E9s are more for the newer ones, so like the UP Heritage units and things like that, but these are what Central Georgia engines I've got coming. All right, the Virginia Railway EL3A. This should be really nice too. Again, I'm not going to be getting one of these, but ETA TBD. I think they announced these, I want to say 2 years ago. I really don't remember. These have been on their website for quite a while, but these should also be really nice whenever they do go into production. And speaking of nice and not cheap, we have the Chesapeake and Ohio Virginia Alleghenies. Now, these have also been out on their website for at least a year, if not longer. And the price tag on these things is, it's a bit big at $4,800, but it's a 50th anniversary edition for the company themselves, and it's got a bunch of stuff: lifetime brass construction, operating reverse linkage. I'd like to see that whenever that gets done, if it gets done, that is. Fully detailed backhead, backlit dials. That should be really nice. Again, operating stand and turret hatches, cab vents, doors and windows, sprung drivers. This should be a really nice engine if it does end up getting made. And they have some HO offerings. I'm not going to talk about those since this is a O-scale channel, but this is a narrow gauge HO, so it should be really nice. HO C11 and 12 for SP. These are both SP. Just one on the HO and 3. So yeah, just one on the HO and 3. The HO C11s and 12s. And now we're back into O again for the Golden Gate Depot announcements. And a lot of us have been really excited about the possibility of the REA reefers coming back. So we'll get to that in a second. We have Golden Gate Depot Harriman cars and the Empire Builder. So we have here the REA reefer cars. Now, I'm absolutely getting the silver roof, white and green stripe, because that will go with the hotbox reefer that I have. And it doesn't, I don't think it says it here. 2 rail, 3 rail, 48, plastic body, detail underbody. Yeah, it doesn't say it here. On the Third and Townsend website, it says they're going to be doing 6 numbers per scheme. And they are $105, $109 a piece, which is a fantastic price. So if I get them, I'll probably end up getting all 6 because of how cheap that is compared to, say, Lionel or even MTH or Atlas. Because while Atlas or MTH may be a little bit cheaper and still pretty nice, these are going to be almost 100% accurate cars because it's Golden Gate Depot. They take that much care in their stuff, and these haven't been run in a very long time, and they probably won't be run in a very long time again. So I'm going to be ordering at least 2 or 3, if not all 6 of the red, white, and green ones. If I get any others, I'll probably get the normal Railway Express Agency ones, but we'll see. But I'm at least getting at least 1, if not multiple, of the green, white, and red. Moving on to these Harriman cars, these should be pretty nice. There's a lot of Western stuff in there for those of y'all who like that. I think Johnny might have some of these. The Optimus over there, I think he does, because that's what's on the back page of the catalog here, which we'll get to. But these should be pretty nice. And Empire Builder, so this should also be a very nice set. And the sky blue and the normal scheme. It looks like there might be a red one too. And their current sets, the Union Pacific Heritage Fleet, the Lark, probably limited, 38 and 40 20th Century Limited, Santa Fe Super Chief, and the heavyweight coaches and the sleepers. So I've been kind of going back and forth on getting some of these. These should be really nice, but I just don't have anything to pull them. And as fun as it would be to go ahead and get these ordered and just have them wait for a Vision Line Big Boy or a Challenger or a 484 or a FEF, I really just can't justify spending that much money on something that would just sit on a shelf until it had an engine to go behind it. So I think I'll have to unfortunately pass on these, as much as I really want these, as much as how nice as I think these are going to come out. I'm just going to have to wait until they do them again, which they probably will at some point in the future. All right, we have the Lark here. Again, not really a big SP guy. These should be really nice, but not something I'm particularly interested in. Again, the probably limited. I know a few people who are really interested in this and are excited for it, but not something I would be particularly interested in now. At some point, maybe in the future, I'll get something like this, but for right now, I'm gonna pass. And the 1938 and 40 20th Century Limited, if I didn't already have the Lionel version, I might consider going with these because I could put them behind another engine in the future. But again, just like with the UP stuff, I would have to be able to get my hands on an engine to go with it. Now, I might have ordered an E7 or E8 to pull it, because that would, I believe, be prototypical, but I would at least be able to more easily get my hands on an engine to pull this than the Heritage Fleet. But as I say that, they're also offering the UP Heritage E9s that would be accurate to pull that set, so I don't know. 1937 Super Chief set, this should be really nice. The art for this just came out yesterday, I believe, and they came out really nice. So again, not something I'm particularly interested in, but this set should be really nice, and it might even blow the Lionel Super set that just came out of the water. But all right, we have Golden Gate Depot 80-foot heavyweights. I considered getting some of these to go with my custom set and kind of repainting them, but I just didn't feel like putting or repainting these because these should be really nice, and I wouldn't want a chance ruining something like this. The Atlas ones were a whole lot easier to work with, but these also should be really nice. They should be coming pretty quick, or they should be coming next year, winter. And then we have just the remaining HO stuff that was already announced. I'm not going to talk too much about that because, again, I'm not a big HO guy. You guys can look at those on your own time. Just kind of click through them just for the sake of clicking on them. These should be nice. I might know one or two people who might be getting their hands on some of these, but then they have the one final little thank you to a bunch of people and historians, people keeping the history of the real things alive, as well as those who are helping them recreate everything. And we have the final page, and I believe, yeah, these should be some Harrimans that Johnny has. Again, up there in the corner. See you in December for our next edition. I mean, that gets me excited that they're gonna have another catalog in December, and I hope that they do continue doing these catalogs because it's a nice way of seeing it all at once. The websites are nice, but having the catalog and presented in the catalog fashion just gives it that extra little bit of, I don't know if quality is the right word, but you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say. It makes it, I don't know, but I think out of anything in this catalog that I'm most excited about, it would probably be where are they? There they are. The REA Steel Reefers. These should be really nice, and I'm getting a pretty good handful of these. And then, like I said at the beginning of the video, looking at getting one or two of these SD70 Aces. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think of the Sunset Models third rail catalog. Let me know if you're going to be getting anything. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. Leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys next week.